If somebody could check the phone, Baba Kashaw, just to see.
Just popped up.
Gone, all right. Cool. Yep.
Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Hello, hello.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Once in double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to y'all. Came out there pushing the word of sincerity and truth. We over here having a live show instead of class today. We got brothers in from different areas in the United States, man. I don't know if you want to pan around for these brothers. Sip, man. Arkansas is in the building. Doing our thing, man. But today we just wanted to go in. We named it Righteous Order Grows a Nation. And what we want to hinge and talk about is the mindset that brothers have towards women and the expectation of marriage within the scriptures, the expectation of family within the scriptures. We want to touch on that because even people that say that they're in the truth, you know, and understand this thing seem to get a lot of things misconstrued about what Great Millstone teaches, and you know the whole mindset behind why we teach what we teach as far as the black woman or as far as just marriage in general. And I think it's because I think a lot of brothers still have a westernized mentality towards marriage, the purpose of the relationships that we have with women, and the intentions that the Heavenly Father had for us, man. You know? So we want to touch on that, bring out a few scriptures. Lord will listen, this is edifying, okay? Can we get 1 Corinthians?
Right, and I also want to say, you know, like the elder went into, man, a lot of us, we've been raised in this captivity, and the way that Esau has taught us about what family is, about what a wife is, and you know, movies and how it's really been embedded. It's totally contrary to the Bible. You know, when you look at marriage, when you look at family, we've been taught to have a totally individualistic mindset towards it, which leads to confusion. That's why Jake is always arguing. That's why Jake can't get anywhere, because the mind frame towards family and nation building is not in line with what the Bible is talking about. And I think a lot of times people take this mind frame that we've been that's been embedded in us, and somehow we believe that the scriptures is dealing with that.
Right.
And it's totally contrary, even with wives, man.
Yep.
You know, we've learned that women and having wives was totally for a sexual pleasure and not towards a business, which family is the #1 business on the planet Earth.
Yep.
The kingdom of heaven is going to be a functioning, righteous business forever. That is the purpose of those wives. Multiple wives, concubine, these things are for rulership.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of brothers, you know, sometimes I think that we look at the Luke video and Nelly video, and you know, and really believe that we're gonna jump into the kingdom of heaven and just be like, bitch, come here.
Yeah.
No, the reason that we're gonna have a lot of wives is for the purpose of nation building, man.
That's right.
And family, and a functioning unit, all right, is gonna be established on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
All right, and that's a glorious role that the woman has. And sometimes it seems like it's misconstrued, and it's just all messed up.
And that's and you're gonna have pleasure in it.
Yeah, it's gonna be pleasure. Yeah.
There's gonna be pleasure in it, because growing and doing those type of things is what the earth and life was meant for. Most I said, be fruitful and multiply.
Right.
But what is that mentality? How does that play into what's going on right now within this ministry and our duty right now? When we talk about putting off this world, when we talk about cutting certain things off, when we talk about mortifying our members, what does that mean for right now? Okay. I want to read 1 Corinthians chapter 11. You had a point?
I had marriage in the.
Let's wait on that.
Okay.
Okay, but we're definitely coming to that. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3.
I got it.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians 11:3. It says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is Yahweh."
Yeah, so there's an understanding and there's an order that we understand how things go. The pedigree and the inheritance went through from the fathers to the sons. Rights and deeds to lands, how everything was passed down, or the order and rank of everything is passed down through that name,
Uh-huh.
and the son holds that name.
Exactly. The father.
Okay, it's just how it is, man.
Yep.
Okay, and the women were to be a helpmeet, as it talks about in Genesis.
That's right.
That's right.
You know, Lord willing, we'll pull it in another scripture. We won't go to Genesis, but you know, there's another scripture that basically highlights that. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, can I get a scripture just to back up how you saying like the man is basically the head
Mm-hmm.
and holds the name of the family?
Okay.
This is Numbers 1:18. It
Start
says,
at Numbers 1. Start at Numbers 1 and 1,
Okay.
and then we'll get down to 18 real quick.
Numbers 1:1. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the second month,
Go ahead.
in the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers,
By the house of their fathers. Go ahead.
with the number of their names, every male by their polls.
See, every male by their polls was carrying the rights to lands, inheritances,
Right.
inheritance. You know, that inheritance is a legacy. Is access to a legacy if you continue to grow within the families that you build and rear up. Okay? And so that's how a man literally is a business. He's a stockholder of a
That's right.
of a company, and that company is the nation. And your name by your poll gives you a certain level of stock within that company, being the kingdom. That company ultimately is the kingdom. That's what we're fighting for. And so you want to be profitable. And there is a way to profit. The law, statutes, commandments teach you that in our relationships that we have with each other as men, with the planet Earth, with all the creation, with women.
Right.
Okay? How does that play out now? What does that mean as far as you going into being a priest, being a prophet? What does that mean towards your mindset in your life right now? Knowing all that. What does that mean towards this ministry? That needs to always be in your head. How do you spiritually judge that and live your life according to being obedient?
Kind of. I'm going to read verse 4. This is Numbers 1:4. It says, and with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his fathers. So like you were saying, just the man's name is on that corporation or that household. You know what I'm saying? Like even just to make a joke, in that movie with Tina Turner and Ike, he said, you can leave, but the name stays. My father gave me this name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So having a name and a legacy, and that's all over rights. That's why marriages, that's the real importance of it, man. Not just to have the vanity of having a woman and all of these multiple women, you know?
Yeah, go down to 16.
Kind of. Numbers 1 and
You
16.
know, with some names come more responsibility and accountability also.
That's what they's gonna say.
Oh, really?
That's
Let's
exactly
go.
right.
Let's go,
Kind,
Shannon.
kind. Numbers 1 and 16, it says these.
And that's what you're working towards now, man. You're working up. You. What are you doing? Where are you storing your treasure up?
In heaven,
What do you think that's playing out towards?
Mm-hmm.
You putting a bet that this stock right here that in this life is gonna crumble and fall and crash, and that something else is gonna rise up and skyrocket. That penny stock. This is the ultimate penny stock, man.
right, ultimate investment.
The ultimate investment. The flip, the return that you're gonna get is gonna be. Ain't no return gonna ever match. You know, imagine if you would have bought Facebook when it was a penny stock,
Right.
Amazon when it was
Google.
a penny stock.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I think it was a statistic that said if you would have bought, I want to say it was Amazon, and like $200 of it, like way back when, bro, you'd be multi-millionaire, bro. You know, so imagine you putting all your what you got into this. The Most High is gonna give you way more, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Way ridiculous, way higher level than having a whole bunch of bitches in the pool.
Right.
Jake mindset is so low level sometimes. It makes me sad that our people have been broken down so far that your mindset towards just nice and the high level things is just, you can get that shit for $600, bro. pop a bottle at one of these places and have bitches all in the pool with you, bro. Increase your mindset, bro. Okay? You got something?
1 Corinthians 2:9. But it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. You know, so just to back the order up, man. This investment is just the best investment you can ever participate in.
Right.
You know, because the Most High, dude, if you can just imagine how he put us under curses, how he destroyed us according to the promise of if we didn't follow. Just think about when he flips that on the other side. You know how bad it is now. How we know, like the elders say, we in the worst case scenario. Think about on the other end, that best case scenario where we're going to be in. You know, we so feeble we can't think about that, but just imagine the grind and the return on it. You know, it's way bigger than, like the elders said, just getting women and pouring champagne on hoes. You know, and then stunting and doing selfies for Instagram, man. You know, it's way bigger now. When you speak, things are gonna move on the planet Earth, man.
Right.
You're gonna be able to move resources. People gonna be at your beck and call. You're gonna control things, you know?
You'll be able to be. You'll be able to. Hey, the name Yahweh means to be. He is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're fighting for, basically, to be. You know, all of these stipulations and thoughts that we have that comes with normal everyday functions of life, that's just a part of hell and captivity. It ain't gonna be like that in the kingdom. The way that this whole system is set up is not geared towards the way that we ran families, the way that we ran business, the way that we had, you know, it's all totally contrary now. And like you have these groups, you see, we'll get on particular groups like, you know, we're not in the time of marriage, and you'll think that we're saying marriage is bad.
Yeah.
Marriage is wicked. No, marriage is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know
But
what?
it is not productive
It's not.
towards the ministry and the goal and the mindset the scriptures teach us
Right.
in order to be ministers and prophets.
Right.
It's just not.
It's not.
But the point is, if you don't really understand what marriage is, you can't make the right judgment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because you've never experienced marriage. You've never really seen marriage. You've never seen tribe. You've never really seen family. You've never understood a functioning nation. We've been broken and disconnected from any of those thoughts. You don't understand legacy.
Winging it.
Just living your life playing PlayStation. Your legacy is your league, man. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Jake is
Well,
more
you
legacy minded on Madden than in a family, man.
Right.
That's a problem. I want to finish
Yeah,
this because
yeah,
there's more
yeah,
points.
kinda,
Is
kinda.
there more?
Yeah, this is back in Numbers 1:16. It says, these were the renowned of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers.
Those were the renowned of the congregation. Like the brother said, different names had different ranks, and some were renowned amongst the congregation. Go ahead.
That's right. It says, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel.
Princes of the tribes of their fathers. So they was princes within each of the tribes. They had certain levels of rank and authority, making sure the tribe functioned in a certain way. We're going to read about Caleb, who was a prince of the tribe of Judah during the time of their expansion in the Holy Land in those times. Okay? Heads of the thousands of Israel. Okay? Amen. That's a lot that comes along with that power and glory, you know? Keep reading, please.
Verse 17, it says, and Moses and Aaron took these men, which are expressed by their names. Name.
A name is important, man. It was rights and titles to opportunity, land, all types of stuff, man.
That's why marrying a heathen woman was forbidden. Marriage with a heathen woman is we're not supposed to marry. When marriages come, you know, there's land involved. There's particular rights and inheritance involved. The heathens bring their gods. No, you do that with an Israelite woman. Even in particular cases, particular tribes only marry within particular tribes.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have a ceremonial thing with a heathen woman. A heathen woman was only a wife through what? Servitude. You know what I'm saying? Which we'll get into that stuff later if times permits. But go ahead.
Verse Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20-year-old and upward by their poll.
Boom.
I got a quick one for you. This is Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. I'm just going into how our heritage, you didn't make a decision with your emotions, man. You know, it was a particular way that the Lord wanted things to go, and you would give your firstborn a double portion of what the other children will receive.
That's right.
Yeah. And hey, and because that marriage that was made, you know, her father's house united with your house, man. So basically, to give the rights to the firstborn of the one that was loved versus the hated, that was a breach of contract that you had, man. That makes you dishonorable.
Right.
You know? So all this is about increase and being equitable. The law was teaching us how to run a nation in an efficient, equitable fashion.
Con, just a quick one.
Mhm.
This is Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Just going into those riches, man, it's better to have that good name and you establish everything afterwards, man. But if you have a terrible name and it leads down through the line, those riches don't matter, man.
Yeah.
You know, you see examples on that on the show called Game of Thrones that I watch quite a bit, man. There's certain houses that might got that bread, but they looked at like, man, these people are evil, man. You know?
do what's right, riches will come.
Right.
Riches come with order.
That's right.
You got to be in order first in order to get all of these things. You see?
And you seen that with Nabal, you know, the husband of Abigail. You know, they call him a foolish man, but he was from what? The house of Caleb. So they just show you how that generational wealth trickled down from Caleb all the way to Nabal.
Right.
You know, he still had the inheritance from when Caleb first got it, when they first came to the land, man. You know?
That's right. That's
And
right.
we all just now figuring this is all just returning to us.
Yeah.
You know, this is all so we're just bringing this out, like, man, you know, because we seeing how particular brothers are reacting to the. It's just like Jake figure out they can get multiple wives, and it's a whole different ball game. Here you get multiple wives to act like Floyd Mayweather and flaunt. The purpose of multiple wives is really for the nation to
Right.
flourish, for your business to flourish, man.
That's
for your
right.
house
Right.
to flourish, for your name to go further and further.
That's right.
You see, and that's what we own, man. That's what the
Legacy.
Legacy.
Exactly.
We're not wives and concubines ain't only for individual purposes.
Right. Right.
Just I'm gonna just be busting all type of nuts.
Yeah.
You know, one Jake had a video called "We gonna be effing fucking like wild rabbits in the kingdom." Technically, we are gonna have a lot of sex, man, but ultimately that's for the purpose of our nation. He said, the Lord said, one shall become 1,000.
Right.
You know, there's power in numbers, man. And our nation is going to be the most biggest righteous functioning business the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
So that's the reason that we're going to be having a lot of sex. It's not geared towards that sensation of, you
Yeah.
know,
But even
only.
though that comes
That
with
comes
it,
with it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. You know,
It's a incentive,
right.
you know, to keep reproducing yourself. Just
Right.
like you eat fruit, you know, they sweet. That's an incentive for you to keep eating fruit. So
Right.
sex, you have that pleasure.
Right.
That's an incentive for you to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
The Most High wants you to enjoy yourself. That's why He created all this stuff. That's why we was like, yeah, do that. Heck yeah. You know?
Right. The Elohim created the.
They know, you know. But what is the understanding behind all the
Right,
things,
right,
man?
right.
You can't just run with the simple mind. You gotta run with spirit. You gotta have a spiritual mental attitude towards it.
You can't just run with the carnal aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Yeah. Jake just runs with the carnal aspect of it, but we've never really sat and thought about the spiritual aspect of women and family. That's
Yeah.
something that we were never taught growing up, you know.
Yeah, like you said, in this society,
You got that, man.
having them different women, they're not like the woman in Proverbs 31.
Oh
See, when they become like that, then it's more profitable to us.
Oh, yes.
Like you said, you got all them women doing what's Proverb 31 saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like you said, now it's like a business.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because multiple women in this society creates strife.
That's a
Yeah.
burden.
You one is down with it, the other you gotta hide. It's just madness.
Yeah.
But when our women's mind are right, you know what I'm saying, we ain't gonna have to go through all of that.
Yeah.
You know? And you'll have substance. Because
Yeah.
multiple wives and concubine really is for a man with substance.
Yeah, because your wife going to work 8 hours of the day.
Right, right.
And she ain't in the house, you going one direction, she going in one direction for the whole day. Y'all ain't even have no time really
Yeah,
to
to
become
build.
even friends.
Right,
Much less to have some type of legacy marriage.
right.
Then you want her to do Proverbs 31. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Work.
shit
8
don't
hours.
work, bro.
Right.
Yeah. She at work, coming home with a goddamn suit on.
Yeah.
But then
A
she supposed to come
uniform.
home and
So going.
what do you maybe, you know,
A
she
name tag, Juanita.
yeah, well, Juanita.
Yeah.
You know,
Jake want multiple wives.
You done,
through
you done,
dysfunction.
you done send her to go work for some other dude, build up his shit for 8 hours, and then wonder why her mind ain't trying to build your house.
It's just hell, man.
You know, bro. We fighting to get that back. You ain't been married, dog. You just been with a chick. Y'all cool.
You just been with a roommate.
Yeah, man. Even if y'all got 3 kids, you know, you just in a situation until Yahweh comes back and we really can rule and do things properly.
Exactly. This is marriage in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. I'm going to read the first 2 paragraphs. Marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse, and perfected in a lifelong partnership of mutual love and commitment. It is also a social institution regulated by the word of the Most High and by the laws and customs which a society develops to
And
safeguard.
it's that first. It's that first. You know. Now it's brought together. The Most High binded that with the emotion and the feeling that you have towards and the affection that you have towards a woman, and likewise with a woman towards a man. But the governing spirit and law and everything like that is over there, and we fit into that framework. And once you're willing and you submit to fitting within that framework, what do you have? You have growth. You know. That's when you have order. Order is when people are unifiedly doing the same thing. When everybody's on the same page, following the same script as a unit, then you have order. You know? And when you have that, you have growth. Go ahead.
It is also a social institution regulated by the word of the Most High and by the laws and customs which a society develops to safeguard its own continuity and welfare.
Woo! Read that again.
It is also a social institution regulated by the word of the Most High and by the laws and customs which a society
By the
develops.
laws and the customs.
Which a society develops.
Which a society develops. What's our society? The Israelite king, the Israelite society, Hebrew Israelite customs, right? Go ahead. The laws, statutes, commandments. Let's go, champ.
Which a society develops to safeguard its own continuity and welfare.
Like the rape doctrine was a safeguard that did what?
The rape law.
The rape,
not a doctrine.
yeah,
Right.
Same
Just in
thing.
case
though.
it happened. Yep.
You know.
So that didn't happen all the time.
So the rape law did what? It safeguarded what?
Its own continuity and welfare.
It safeguarded the continuity and welfare of the nation.
That's right.
All these laws, statutes, commandments do those things. Okay.
I got a quick one.
I got one too, real quick.
Uh oh.
Sirach 25:1.
This is spirit.
And 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, and a man and wife that agree together. See, what we've been doing basically is taking disarray, going to the club, meeting somebody, having sex, and then trying to build some sort of trust and relationship around that, and it's just been a failure, man. It hasn't worked.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
genuinely,
not right.
some brothers may meet a woman that they genuinely or they like, you know, but we've never had that. We've never experienced that. And see, these people try to present, you know, this in America you can have no man.
Yeah. And then also, then you know, you got these Israelites groups that they po things because they think that they can really be able to try to establish that
Mhm.
now, like when the women like we don't have that culture.
We're in this.
You taking these women out of the world and
Yeah.
trying to make them do all these
Total
things, and
dysfunction.
you gonna be Proverbs 31. Come on, but meanwhile,
And then they wear the Proverbs 31 shirt.
Right.
and, you know, you can't. It's and then they wonder why it's so dysfunctional. This world is dysfunctional. That's why Paul was saying, those that have wives be as though they had none, because Paul understood we not kept this. The nature of that right now is not for now. That's for later.
Exactly.
When we can actually grow and build like that. Right now, we're putting off this world. A marriage is for growth in the world. A marriage is for expansion of your name in the world. We're not trying to expand our name in this world. You know? Your mindset should be on immortal things. This ain't immortal. This life, this is all gonna pass away. So your intention towards moving towards things has to be with the spirit. Okay? No brothers got it.
No, you.
Is there more?
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just a little more. The Creator made man and woman, displaying his full image only as both man and woman. Each is made for the other, their essential natures being complementary and brought into oneness in marriage. Genesis 12:26, Matthew 19, verses 4 through 6. Marriage is a sacrament of human society. Husband and wife both share and perpetuate their happiness in having and rearing a family within the sphere of their own love. Thus, marriage is more than an end in itself. It is the means to ends outside the married couple. The unity of husband and wife is of the Most High's creative will, for from him come the love and grace which enable them to grow together in life comradeship, to beget children, and to fulfill their responsibilities toward their children, and to society as a family unit. Husband and wife become one in relation to the community. So
In
that
relation to the community, they become one. Go ahead.
so that through marriage, a new social unit emerges.
So you can, and you want to continue to duplicate those units, man.
Right.
You know.
That's crazy because here you brag on taking care of your child. Jacob bragged, but that's embedded within the culture in Israel, man. You know, that's not something we have to brag about. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. You know?
I got a precept. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7. The key points in verse 3, but I'm going to start from the top. It says, "Now concerning the things whereof ye write unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman, nevertheless to avoid fornication. Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence." And that word benevolence goes to kindness, you know what I'm saying, or being in order, because it goes into how y'all were going into certain brothers look at it differently. You know what I'm saying? Look at it like it's a tip drill video or something like that. You know, you need to make sure that you have that respect, you know, because it is a business. Okay? So it says, "And likewise also the wife unto the husband." And that's a unity. All right, that's an agreement. And as we brought up the example in Genesis, and also it goes into in Ephesians, it talks about them being one flesh. And in order to be one flesh, you have to have that agreement taken care of in order for that business to grow and to flourish. Okay? It says, "The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise, also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife." So it goes into that unity. Now we understand there is order involved within that, but the Heavenly Father had it set up that way for a particular reason, man. You look at today's society, it's not operating like that. You know what I'm saying? The Heavenly Father's setting up a business ultimately. And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom, man.
That's right.
You know, that was all I had on that one.
Good.
You know?
Good. What you got?
Joshua chapter 15, 16.
First let's go to Numbers 36.
I got that held right here.
Numbers 36.
Come. This is the book. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 30. So what? Start from the top. Okay. This is Numbers chapter 36, verse 1. And it says, "And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses, and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel.
Yeah, man. So, that is, and, Yahshua mentioned this at the beginning. I see the brother Quam is mentioning this right now. Is that how our people have a problem with individualism. They're not nation-minded. They're not kingdom-minded. They're not thinking about what they're doing fits into a bigger overall picture of things. Jake is wholly centered on their immediate reality and what will benefit them, what will make them feel the best. How does it make my life the best? It's not how does it make the overall nation run more effectively.
Right.
Because if you had that mindset, that would change the way that you moved. You will have a servant attitude versus doing what you want to do type of mentality, man. So that goes into also marriage and everything like that. Jake is looking at it as for their own personal. But I feel this way. I want this. Why is it bad? The Most High's telling you to kind of cut these things off for the sake of having way more abundance on the back end.
Right.
Con.
That's what caused Eve to eat the fruit, man. She ate that fruit thinking of herself. We should be like gods. And look, the whole nation fell after that. And sin was entered into the world. Just using that as an example.
Yeah. So, going on this in the book of Numbers right now, let's read about the mentality. I want to read about just Jake understanding marriage in general within the nation of Israel when we was in the promised land. We talked about earlier how there was a legacy. Your name was attached to a certain portions of land, right? Mm-hmm. All the lands was divvied up in the nation of Israel amongst the tribes. And as sons were reared up according to the families, there's levels of inheritances and riches, and you can grow from there, depending on what went down with you. Go ahead.
God, Numbers 36 verse 2. And they said, Yahweh commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel, and my Lord was commanded by Yahweh to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. Mm-hmm. And if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel.
Now, if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, go ahead.
Then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers,
mm-hmm.
and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe, whereinto they are received.
Go ahead.
So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
So if whenever you married, bro, it wasn't just like some, you smashed a girl and now y'all just go live down the road and you don't ever talk to your parents no more, really. Right. No, it binded houses and lands. That was a big deal, man.
That's right. That's right.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to read. Go up to verse 2 and read down again.
I want to experience that, man. I want to.
That's dope. That's gonna change your mindset towards a relationship.
Right, straight up.
Who you get with can determine the legacy of your family.
That's right.
Exactly. It's like merging corporations.
Yes, man. You ain't gonna just be looking at a girl just for her booty.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna be thinking about the legacy of your family, bro.
Right.
That's gonna make if she got a dope family line, that's gonna make her fine in a hoe.
That's right.
That'd be 144,000. That family line.
Yeah.
Because there's all Israel, but then just think about that family
you're
line.
like, bro, that's Yahshua's daughter.
Right.
That's why them.
Yeah, straight up.
Hey, that's why females go after those athletes, man.
That's a good. I was just
That's why
gonna
they
say
go
that.
after them athletes.
Yeah,
man.
that's
right.
And then they have kids, like you said. That's
Bro, so that you didn't want your tribe, the tribe that you building with, to lose lands to the Manasseh,
Right.
or lose lands to Benjamin.
Right.
That's messing up the whole what you doing.
That's
bro.
right. That's right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quick one.
You got something to go with that?
Mhm.
Let's go check.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse
Let's go
13. Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me, because I have inquired to know thy tribe and thy family. For thou art my brother of an honest and good stock.
Mm-hmm.
For I know Ananias and Jonathan, sons of the great Samias, as we went together to Jerusalem to worship and offered the firstborn in the tents of the fruit and they were not seduced with the error of our brethren. My brethren, thou art of a good stock.
Boom. So he was looking for somebody that was following
Right.
the law, statutes, commandments, continuing in that way. He was of the tribe of Naphtali.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
She just got a fat ass, man.
Yeah, it was way bigger than that, man. Damn, bro.
Damn, she bad.
That's right.
You know?
Come.
Then wondering why you having all these situations. You don't, you know, you ain't thinking, right?
Yeah.
Just think the women we get, some of them didn't have fathers, their lives were all messed up.
Jacked up, man.
You wonder why it's just
Mm-hmm.
We just need to get out of this situation.
Come.
Ultimately, we're all just messed up.
Yeah.
And when you look at it from this standpoint, you start to notice that
Yeah.
we need Yahweh Shai.
We need a whole reboot.
Reset button.
Reset.
Ain't no get in the bank and
You're not
within
gonna
this
fix it
system,
on the
no.
side and make it holy on this side. You can try,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna bring strife to you. Need to focus on sealing the 144,000.
Right. Right.
Raising up the men to be pretty so everything can be restarted. And so that mission doesn't really include growth and family and all that mindset. Is that going to be happening in the background? Absolutely. Is it at the forefront of the intention of the minds of the men? No, it's not the chief priority. And a lot of men can't handle that thought
Yeah.
because you have to put off certain things that's you know, your flesh wants your legacy. Every man, real man, wants legacy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we are storing up our treasures in heaven. Okay, so there's a mentality that you got to have towards an intention towards relating. It doesn't mean you treat your wife like crap. It doesn't mean you treat your kids like crap. It doesn't mean you don't take care of your family that you have. Okay, but there's a level of understanding and intention that you have. If you here just trying to get 8 wives, you don't really understand what's going on. Okay.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient.
Right.
All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. So like they understand, having 8 wives and trying to establish all that now, that's not edifying for the body. Why? Because that's contrary to the goal
Mm-hmm.
of why we're here. Okay? That doesn't build you up for the truth, man.
That's right.
To flourish and to be able to get out of here, man. Because why? All this is going to be destroyed, man.
Exactly.
All the relationships, this whole way of thinking is going to be done away with. So if you focus on that, then you're going to be swept away in that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it takes your attention to grow that type of a business. A family, a flourishing family takes time, attention. You know, you focus on cultivating that, you're not focused on cultivating the kingdom. And that's a problem. Okay? So back in Numbers.
This is Numbers chapter. You want me to go back to verse 2, right?
Mhm.
Numbers 36 and 2. And they said, the Lord commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my Lord was commanded by Yahweh to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. And if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribes, whereinto they are received, so shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. And when it says Jubilee, right? Just want to make sure. Okay. And when the Jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put into the inheritance of the tribe, whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers.
Yeah. You know? Go to that in the Judges.
This is Judges chapter 15 and 16. And Caleb said, he that smite Kiriath Sefer and taketh it, to him will I give Aksah my daughter to wife.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 17, and Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it.
Yeah.
And
You know, he said, man, he had an opportunity to link in with Caleb's family through that daughter. That's a legacy decision. You know? So and you can't take a city unless you got soldiers with you. That means you already
Right.
on some type of level. So a whole bunch of people were eliminated from the availability to do that because they wasn't on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take a city, that means you got soldiers.
I mean, you got money that has
That means
soldiers.
you got bread. you
got-
already got a great situation going on.
Right.
So you trying to power up with somebody. So he's like, whoever take that city, Have my daughter.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Verse 17, and Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Aksah, his daughter, to wife.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass, as she came, verse 18, unto him.
Now, what did she say? No, I don't love him.
She in America.
I don't love. No. She did what she was supposed to do.
Right.
It's great. It was a great decision. There's a family, honorable house. A great opportunity to have to bear his children, man.
She was raised for that moment.
Uh-huh.
Her mind frame was already geared
Yeah.
towards that.
It's like coming to America.
Like you say that now, people like the Edomite who came up to y'all
Yeah.
who was doing that second
Yeah,
camp.
he was hurt.
He was like, so she can't shoot. She has no say so. She has to marry her rapist and all of this type of stuff. And it's just that they don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's women were raised in a whole different mind frame in our culture, man, than what they're raised towards now. You know, they weren't raised to you gonna play the field. You gonna go find you a husband. No, the husband, all right, was ordained, or pretty much he found you. All right.
Like I said, it's just a small example that is I mentioned coming to America. That guy's daughter, she was raised to serve Prince Hakeem, but that wasn't no Rudy Poo guy who the father. He was a general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He
was
wasn't
hopping on
no
one
yeah.
leg.
Yeah, so she was raised in that mindset of serving and bonding that household together like they was talking about. But it wasn't a regular guy. It was actual general. He had medals. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
money.
he did prestige, you know. So
Yeah.
you know that was a good just an example of that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That was Hakeem.
And they were much better off. You know, the women were much better off when things were set up
Like
They-
that.
yeah.
Look at them under this system.
They they turn into whores, man. That's what happens to women in the ancient world. They defiled themselves before the time of, being uprightly betrothed and stuff like that. You know, or if they had a husband and he died,
It's like expired bread.
you know,
Mhm.
they had actual areas in the city designated for prostitution.
Mhm.
That's another thing men can't get.
You know,
They
that
think
was
we
the
just-
functioning, that was
Yeah.
the leftover hoes.
Right.
That's what they did.
If they here today, wouldn't they? If that which is then is now. Everything that's happening now ain't nothing new under the sun. But see, we bring these type of things out, and you Israelites just lose your damn mind as if we saying that. I don't like prostitutes, man. Now, if you do have a brother who go get, that's his business. But me myself, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
I would rather a woman that I'm cool with. You know what I'm saying? But that don't take away the fact that it happened.
Yeah, that is
It's
there.
still here.
Yeah.
Shit, my personal emotion has nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, me personally don't like it, but that don't mean it ain't going on.
Yep. Prostitution happened and is happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Point blank period.
Solomon judged between two harlots. Where the hell they come from?
Right.
They were there, bro.
Yep.
In the king's court.
Yeah.
He wouldn't condemn them or curse them out,
Right.
you know.
He dealt with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got this one real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus 22:4. It says, "A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband, but she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness."
Man, read that again.
Yep. This is Ecclesiasticus 22:4. "A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband."
Shall bring an inheritance to her husband, man.
Woo!
That's a good one.
That can't happen today, man.
Yup.
You know, because all you brothers gotta do is Google the net worth of a black woman in America. It's $5, man. You know? Google it right now. The black woman net worth in America is $5, man. Median.
Yeah,
That's a
if that,
median.
like,
Yeah.
You know, so that can't happen on this side. All right, these women come with troubles, man. You know, you gotta deal with somebody else's kids. You gotta deal with bad relationships. That's the only thing these women bring now, for the most part, man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's baggage, man.
Well, add that to yourself, man.
You know, you gotta force them to do the duties of a woman, but you gotta force men to do the duties of men.
And everything.
It's all out of whack,
Our
man.
nation is all
All
jacked.
jacked up.
There's more on that.
Yes, a little bit more. This is verse 5. It says, "She that is bold dishonoreth both her father and her husband, but they both shall despise her."
Mm-hmm.
Because Jake basically just want to have concubines and all of these different women in complete dysfunction, man. That's not a way to build. Like he read, all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. It means the word edify means to build up.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Everything should be for the building of the nation, for the legacy.
That's right.
You know.
That's right, man. So with that mindset, you know, you gotta be, you know how 9 out of 10, 9.5, 9.8 out of 10 of the women are just carrying on with the mindset of absolute whores.
Yep.
Absolute whores, man. You know, you want to wash them up. Good luck. When they go to work and contradict everything you told them. You know? Jake's so focused on washing these women up, they're not focused on the actual remedy, which is Yahushua returning, by raising up men in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's the priority. And then you'll have the power and the money to get the women.
Money, power, yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
You got a precept?
Oh, no,
I still want to finish that in
no.
Judges.
Oh, Judge, okay.
Verse 18. And it came to pass as she came unto him that she moved him to ask of her father a field, and she lighted of her ass. And Caleb said unto her, What wouldest thou? Who answered, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land, give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs.
Do you know how happy the husband probably was because of that, man? You know? So she's like, can I have the springs over there too? For us, you know? My kids, they don't want to ride horses. Okay, baby. And you the husband like, yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Great decision taking over this place.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? It was about the building of a business, the building of your name and your legacy, the enterprise, your sons, and what you was going to be able to give them, and the continuance of that. And if you had daughters, you would want them to be attached to certain houses so they can build and grow. That was the whole point of marriage, man. We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that right now. Marriage and the intention of nation building and right now don't match, man. That's why they said don't be as though they had none. That's why your mindset should be towards growing the numbers within this body of the elect, seeing who's serious about receiving this word and going out and preaching and teaching and creating that standard so Yahushua can come back. Of course, brothers that have families, brothers that have situations will teach, and you make that situation as stable as possible, but you understand that it's not a situation of necessary growth.
If I can say this, you gotta look at salvation, like reality, man. You know, like the elders getting into. That's not expedient on this side. But let's just say your woman gets saved with you, then y'all can experience true marriage. All right, be bringing forth a nation, man. You know, right now that ain't expedient, man. So you gotta look at salvation like I need to do what I need to do now. So the Lord can have mercy on me and my household. Then me and my wife can have abundant kids, lands, riches, and whatever comes with the kingdom, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. You got a precept? Okay.
I got a precept.
Let's go, Chan.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 19.
No, bro, keep reading, bro.
Okay, so this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 19. It says, My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. It says, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, thought through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in goodness of thy stock. You know, so going into what the brother was just bringing out about keeping it. Whenever you find a woman, whenever you find a woman, you know, and you go keeping your seed pure.
Yeah. By just increasing down that line, man, piece by piece by piece.
Right.
And we'll be able to do that when Yahushua returns, you know? Going to those lands, expanding our lands, expanding our herds. Right now, bro, you're just in an apartment, making it, hoping you can get that little old raise. You know,
Splitting the rent.
splitting
That's how
rent.
he splitting bills.
If you with a woman and she gotta go work for 10 hours out of the day, you don't need 2 women, bro.
Right.
You can't even have a stable relationship with one. Y'all just don't know how to deal with women. Oh,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah. So Paul was wrong.
Yeah.
This is Proverbs, I got 2. Proverbs 13-22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
Yeah.
And you don't have that today.
You can't do that. Once you go give your child your laptop,
Right.
Jordans.
And then you got these old Jakes, especially down there in Memphis. If you going to Memphis, you got these older Jakes. They got the Corvette Club. And me and the brothers be talking. They spent their inheritance on the Corvette. Kids don't have nothing, you know. But a Corvette with some problems, all right. Jake don't think about generations after, man. Like you was getting into, our people are selfish. No one thinks about the next generation, man.
Well, that was Esau's. That's an Edomite mind frame.
Yeah.
Because when he gave away that birthright, he basically said, "To hell with my children.
Yeah.
They gonna be through based on him just doing as he wants now."
Yeah.
Let me read this real
I ain't gonna get it, so why do I care?
Yeah, well, I care. This is Proverbs 19-14. Houses and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord.
Cause she's gonna be able to help manage those houses and riches, man.
Right.
Help me.
You know? Somebody
You
else?
still have one back there? I know.
Yeah, I have one real quick.
Mhm.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 17. And Saul said to David, Behold, my elder daughter Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for me, and fight Yahweh's battles. For Saul said, Let not mine hand be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him. And so the point is, even though Saul had malicious intentions for David, you can still see that the customs were the father gives the daughter to wife. You see? Just like how we read in, was that in Joshua chapter 15?
Mhm.
Yeah. So just the point, bring that out.
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
Boom.
You know, so a woman is adding, you know, to your enterprise, man.
That's right.
You know, you're supposed to expand. That's an expansion. You know what you got going on. Man.
Yep. That's how you're gonna duplicate yourself, man.
Yeah.
The whole point of having a business is to duplicate the business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when you start making money. You
Right.
got a business, you don't make bread until you duplicate it. You know, if you have a trucking business, you just gonna do one truck. When do you make bread? When you got about 6 to 8.
Look at McDonald's. Like he said,
Yeah,
they
look
on
at
every
McDonald's.
corner.
They're on every corner. They have worst burgers ever, but they have the biggest burger business. Why? Because they're on every block. Killing the game. Chick-fil-A ain't got nothing on McDonald's.
Gone.
You know?
Yeah, I got just an account. You know, we were talking about it earlier. This is an example of Jacob's daughter Dinah, you know, and then Shechem and Hamor, you know, those other nations. So this is Genesis chapter 34, verse 38, just going to the point. And it says, Hamor, and that was Shechem's father, communed with them, saying, The soul of thy son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you, and ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade you therein, and get you possessions therein.
And that's what happened whenever you have marriages.
Right.
Marriages, you trade more than, it's not just a woman and a man coming together and having kids. It's literally 2 households coming together for an enterprise, man.
Expansion, like you said.
Yeah, for an expansion. So the Most High didn't want us to make those pacts and deals with the heathen. We're going to do this without the heathen.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
so the
never-
integrity of the nation remains intact.
Right.
Meaning law, statutes, because once you start doing that, you're going to have the heathenistic laws and ways of life being incorporated. It's not going to be the man, the husband that necessarily follows the ways. It's going to be the children.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Right.
happened at the time of Nehemiah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Even if it's our men marrying their women,
Right.
just having that cross-band relationship is going to affect the children.
Right. Mind if I
Okay.
bring out a point, Elder? When you go into this account right here as well, Jacob was actually infuriated when that happened, but just because he was actually an honorable man, he was going to allow that to take place. The only thing that had to be done was those individuals to all be circumcised. The whole thing, because you brought up a beautiful point going into if that marriage took place with that heathen nation, their children would take on those customs. So Jacob pretty much said every last one of them needs to be circumcised, and that was the stipulation that had to take place. Jacob was actually willing, even though he was infuriated, but it already happened. He was willing to make it go.
Right. No, I'm just.
He was willing to make that go down, except the Lord intervened, and Reuben and Levi end up slaying all of them
See,
anyway.
the Lord told Jacob to go to a particular land, and Jacob wanted to chill there. And so that's why the Lord had that situation happen where he ended up having to roll out and go where the Lord wanted him to go anyway.
Con.
Get the name of the land.
Right.
But
Right.
Jacob had just got through arguing with, getting it back right with Esau, traveling, going through all this thing with Laban. So he wanted to chill.
Right.
The Lord wanted him to really go to another place. I forget the name of it, but that's really what that was all about too.
Con.
But like you're saying, he was gonna let it roll. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was for the purpose of him just chilling.
Con.
The Lord didn't want that.
Con.
I got this article real quick to just kind of go into this. The brother required form just sent me the water. He sent an article from something called Cruise Chronicle. And the title of the article is Family and Household in Ancient Israel. The idea of family in ancient Israel was a more expansive concept than our modern idea. Family existed at three basic levels. First, there was the bayat, or the household. This was similar to our nuclear family of parents with probably 2 to 4 children, as well as multiple generations. But it also might include debt servants, slaves, concubines, resident aliens, sojourners, day laborers, and orphans. Because if you got a business, well, if you're running crops and stuff, you're going to have all types of moving parts going around your house. It's another thing that people don't realize. It wasn't like you just sitting in your apartment and nobody ever come over. Somebody knock on the door, is who is it?
Right.
No, man, you got all types of stuff going on, man. Okay. Second, it says there was the mishpachah, which loosely referred to a clan. The term was used occasionally of large social units, even the entire nation of Israel. Most typically, it is used in reference to residential kinship groups consisting of several households. Third was the matah, or the tribe, which consisted of many clans. There was polygamy among the wealthiest households in the royal households of latter eras, but it is not clear how extensive polygamy may have been practiced beyond these contexts. The household was the central place of nurture, education, and discipline. That said, it would be erroneous to read our modern notions of family into the household. Ancient Israel was an agrarian society that required extensive cooperation for economic survival. Okay? It says social cooperation among families in the clan was necessary for building and maintaining terraces to conserve the soil and reduce water runoff, for sharing a common water source, wells or streams, for constructing cisterns that retain water for the rainy seasons, for establishing and supporting the boundaries of fields, for harvesting of crops, for judicial settlements, and for a common defense. A network of mutual care was necessary for households to survive crop failures and food shortages caused by drought, blight, and disease. This network of care extended beyond individual to tribes and to the sons of Israel, whose marginal poor included Levites, widows, fatherless children, resident aliens, debt servants, slaves, and sojourners. Okay? And that's how, widows became prostitutes and stuff like that. And so that was from a book, The Israelite and Early Jewish Family and Families in Ancient Israel. And there's more on this article. It's called Household Family and Household in Ancient Israel. It's a very good article. Dawada Ak, man, that definitely brings to light some of the points that we're making towards the mindsets towards marriage and family and building and what we got going on today. Right now, we're focused on what? The sealing of the hopeful elect. This business. Not increasing in the world. Increasing in the spirit. Increasing in the church, man.
That's right.
Okay? And it's about the men. Other points?
That was it on that one.
Okay?
Okay, Tobit.
Yes.
All right, this is the book of Tobit, chapter 8, verse 6. It says, Thou madest Adam.
Can you start at 5?
Okay, come on, okay. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 8, verse 5. Then began Tobias to say, Blessed art thou, O power of our fathers, and blessed is thy holy and glorious name forever. Let the heaven bless thee and all thy creatures. Thou madest Adam, and gavest him Eve, his wife, for an helper and stay. Of them came mankind. Thou hast said, It is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly.
I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly. You know?
Yeah.
Therefore, mercifully ordained that we may become aged together.
See? He understood that enterprise.
Right.
And it's just like you said, it builds as your wealth builds and grows. You can create that enterprise at this house with this woman. You do it with that woman. The reason why we're going to have thousands of women is an expression of how ridiculously wealthy the top level men are going to be, man. It's going to be abundance upon abundance upon abundance. We're going to have the whole universe to spread and create legacy with it. You know? That's power, man.
Come.
That's power. You know? Man, Esau understood that. That's why he cut off the first thing he does is cut off the family lines.
Yep.
You know, when you go in, you cut off the family. That's what we used to do. We go into the city, take them down. What you do? You take the men and the sons. You cut off the family line. You're removing land inheritances and taking them over.
Right. Well, that's why it says we're gonna destroy father and uncle,
Yeah.
nephew for Esau.
Yeah.
Isaiah 14.
It's in a few places.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Yeah. You know?
I'll jump down 20.
Okay.
It said, For before the days of the marriage were finished, Ragu had said unto him by an oath that he should not depart till the 14 days of marriage were expired, and then he should take the half of his goods and go in safety to his father, and should have the rest when I and my wife be dead. You know, so Tobit received, the inheritance, from his father-in-law, and then he received the rest, when the father and his wife died, man.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. 1 Corinthians 7:32. Or start at 29.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 29. It says, But this I say, brethren, that time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it.
Bro, that means you need to have an even kilter mentality. You need to have a stable emotional mindset towards this pilgrimage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get all into it. You do what you gotta do, but your mind is not locked into the future intent of this place.
Right.
And what you got going on. And the chief way that happens is through marriage, bro. Not, a lot of people don't give up on the truth for a car or a job situation. Most people give up on the truth because of marriages and the relationship with a woman, because your heart is tied to trying to create and protect that legacy. Because it makes you uneven. It makes your emotions do this. And Paul's like, you need to have a mindset. You need to have an even killer mindset as we go through this thing,
Right.
so you can continue on in the ministry and get to the real final outcome.
Come.
Okay.
it says, verse 31, 1 Corinthians 7 and 31, and they that use this world is not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
That's why I always tell brothers, get yourself in a stable position. If you are too broke, you always worried about money. It's not rich people that always worry about money. You know, you need to get in a stable situation, and whatever you got going on in your life, according to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is giving you, whether it comes to money, whether it comes to women, whether it comes to your family situation, so whether it comes to whatever you got going on, so you can set the truth as the priority in your life and execute the plan given to you for the hope of salvation. That's what you need to be doing, man. That's why we like to talk about these things. So if you don't have that emotional stability now, what happens when when shit hits the fan? Where are your emotions tied to that's gonna direct your actions and your behavior? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If little things happen in your life make you go on a tailspin every single time, man, you got to get that shit together now. You got to practice that mentality of spiritual stability, emotional stability now, man. For the apostles and elders, they've been doing this thing for 20, 30 years, man. It's easier said than done. So brothers, they can't even handle when the apostles and elders say these things. They're like, I know what you mean. This some tyrants. You're emotionally unstable. You're not focused on the prize. You're not thinking about the nation. You're thinking about yourself.
Right.
Okay?
It's a little bit more over.
The hit dog hollers.
Go ahead.
Verse 32, but I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belongeth to the Lord, how he may please Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
Yep.
But he that is married.
And that's what you see. A lot of times we see that, don't we? Even on our small time here. Brother don't have no situation really going on. He on fire.
Man.
He's on fire, you know. Always at class, maybe even doing sit downs,
Always
making
got
other brothers
precept.
do sit downs, helping, just building. And then, you know, he goes into that relationship, he feels like he's ready for that, and the whole course of things change.
Every day.
You know, he can't categorize and prioritize that situation in his life. You know, but
Verse 33, but he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife.
and the women, you women that watch, you resent the scripture and you resent the mindset behind the scripture because you're not dedicated to the building of the nation. You're dedicated for your self-pleasure. And that's why the apostles and elders are so, you know, turned off by even, you know, shouting out the women in that. And we're not saying the women wasn't there, but a lot of times the women are in this thing to disrupt this scripture and to disrupt the intentionality of the prophets.
To be put on a pedestal.
You want to be put on a pedestal. You want to have some type of recognition. You're not humble enough to go without recognition. You know? And the apostles and elders experiencing the truth have seen that bear itself out over so many years, and then you act like y'all thinking y'all doing something different or new that they haven't seen before. No, man. It's written for a reason. Okay? It's time for the women to sit back and be quiet, man. Your time is not the forefront. You got the kids, you got the situation at the crib, do the best you can. Yes, your man is going to listen to you sometimes. If you got something wise to say. You know? But other than that, man, shut the hell up.
That's right.
You know?
One more verse. I'm going to jump down to verse 35. And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushua without distraction.
Either you agree or you don't agree. And so I think, but understanding the point of marriage within our nation needs to be there so you can properly place it within your priorities list.
Exactly.
A lot of times we don't have the proper understanding of things, and so we feel, you know, I don't even know if it's disrespected or even, you know, how to say, like a lot of guys get really up in the upheaval about women. and you don't really understand women's role within the nation, and so your thought processes in the spirit is off. You know,
Yep.
women were a part of a critical part of growing and having the economy of a nation. Important, yes, they have an important job. Great, woo. But what does that mean right now for what we're doing?
Yeah, we're trying to get there.
It's the men.
Bro.
The tabernacle.
The legacy is when Yahushua comes back.
That's
the
right.
legacy ain't here.
Mm.
We'll develop that legacy with our women then. So yeah, we have situation wives, and we're gonna deal accordingly to the best of our ability. But that's not the priority.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not the chief concern.
Mm.
And it is what it is.
Con.
Okay. You know, that's all I had. You have something?
Just got.
You got it.
You mentioned pilgrimage, you know, and this correlates right with the precept you wanted in 1 Corinthians. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 40, and it says, "O my people, hear my word and make you ready to the battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. He that buyeth, as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it."
Yeah, it is what it is. You got to even. Does that mean you just live a broke ass life and you through every second, every Friday you need $25? No, no, man. Think.
It's spiritual.
Yes.
His care is not. You're not tied to it.
You're not tied to it.
If it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you don't live your life. You handle your business.
You handle your business so you can put the things that's prioritized in this next world. We work with your priorities is the next world,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
not this world. But you
Right.
still got to handle your business and live equitably according to the spirit.
You're the prince of the power.
Right.
Con.
Just be ready to lose everything at the drop of a dime, man.
Right.
Mhm.
Because when the dollar crash, it's over, man.
Because if your spirit is tied to this world, when it all goes away, you go do what Lot's wife did.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you go, that's not where we want to be in that
No.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to be spiritually prepared, rooted.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's like a boxing, man. Like if when Jacob Trouble hit this economy crash and you lose all that instantly, you know, you at work and then you get the text, the economy crash. You know, you lose all that instantly. You know, if you ain't emotionally strengthened, man, you gonna be so weak. You'll never recover. You're not gonna think right. Like a boxer get hit with that good shot and he never get time to recover. That's how Jacob Trouble is gonna do a lot of Israelites. All right, they gonna get hit with that shot and they never gonna recover because they ain't been strengthening themselves spiritually, man.
That's right.
Right.
They didn't have their spiritual priorities lined up. And I wanted to back up, Shar. Were you done?
There was a little more, but
Yeah.
you know,
What I was gonna read was just gonna back you up whenever you finish.
okay. This is continuing on in verse 42. It says, "And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein, he that soweth, as if he should not reap. So also he that planted the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes." Now, this is the key. "They that marry, as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives, for in captivity and famine shall they get children." Now that part right there is utter distress. You know, he mentioned before, those that marry be as though you ain't married. You know, a lot of guys go into, you know, of course we understand marriage is a beautiful thing as we've been going into, but chaos is getting ready to hit these streets, man. And as his brother mentioned, you got to be willing to put that stuff down in the drop of a dime.
Exactly.
You know, brothers trying to party in like the Nelly videos and tip drills and be excited about it. Hey, that's all, you know, in a righteous way, I'm going to say. When Yahushua comes back, everything's going to be established in righteousness. But right now, it's a time to really get our priorities straight and our lives together, man. All hell's getting ready to break loose soon, man. So what mindset should we be in, man? This mindset right here Ezra's talking about. You know?
When you free, man, when you got time and money, when you free, there's different things please you.
Days go by slower.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Right.
you enjoy different things when you free, man. That's what we fighting for, man.
That's right.
Power, man. Real life.
It was an eye-opening lesson.
Just to be able to be.
I think about that stuff. And it makes me inspired to fight. It makes me. I want that. That's a great deal. The kingdom is an excellent deal. I want that. What do you want me to do? Okay.
We've never heard this.
Yeah, bro.
Our families never taught our mother and father. We never taught. I mean, you have particular brothers that would talk particular values, but just hearing all of this right now is very eye opening. So I want to tell you, brothers.
Hey, likewise.
Yeah, like we fight for the kingdom knowing that the kingdom ultimately that's what's going to reign in righteousness, but you maximize your situations here. Because Jacob get out of balance with it thinking we just supposed to forsake responsibility. No, that's not what we're saying. You know, we just got to know at the end of the day, man, this shit is not going to last forever.
Right. And so you practice immortality. You practice just being an excellent individual, but you're not holding on to the products of that. You know, and like anything I do, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. That's the type of person I am. I don't like doing shit halfway.
It's the legacy of our nation.
You know,
Renown men.
I do something, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, I'm gonna do it with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding I've been given, and I'm gonna put my own spirit into it. Because I'm just gonna have fun living with this knowledge. You know, or yeah, am I irritated? Yes. Yeah, bro. It's captivity, dog.
Right.
Hella irritated,
Yeah,
bro. We
yeah.
behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
But what I mean is the inner man,
Mhm.
having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'm gonna have joy of the inner man. And until you capture that, this truth will be a burden to you.
Mhm.
This truth will get on your nerves. Serving brothers will get on your nerves. Growing with this thing is just another job. If you got a job mentality, the truth is not for you.
Right.
The truth is for people that have vision.
Mm-hmm.
People that see the bigger picture and want more in their life and are willing to sacrifice this. It's like just like Elon Musk, man. For his company when he did PayPal. He was living in his office. Dead broke. Doing computer code. For years. People telling him he was fucking out of his mind. Finished that PayPal, sold that bad boy, made billions.
That's right. That's right.
Flipped the game. So how much more so this ministry? Where
That's
you
right.
forsaking your life, people think you crazy, people think you throwing away your life. But they don't understand what you're pouring into right now. You putting in the computer codes, you putting the codes together for you helping establish a international, intergalactic power structure that's gonna come online. You are online. Chair, pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
No glitches.
no glitches. Seamless reality, man.
That's right.
So that's what we're fighting for, man. So practice that mindset now and whatever you got going on, man.
God.
And stop living a lifestyle of not paying attention to what's going on, man. Carelessness. Get yourself in a stable situation so you can focus on the ministry.
God.
Brothers, help each other. Stop being selfish in a hoe. Build together. And I'm then really this goes out to the men that are 5 years or more. The ones that have established a level of trust. Build together. Have an intention on increase within the body. Okay?
Kind
Yeah,
of
sir.
one.
Hey, stay disciplined and accountability, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about, you know.
Let's go check.
This is Hebrews 13 and 14. It says, "For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come." And that's the point being made, like you had said in that other scripture, we're just pilgrims passing through. And as a pilgrim passing through in Babylon, a land of confusion and chaos, we still gotta adapt and survive to our maximum potential based on our strengths that the Most High has gave us, but our vision is on the kingdom.
That's right.
So we move with intention in doing everything within this setup to enhance our chances at establishing what we want to establish on the other side, you know?
That's right. That's perfectly put. I mean, very well put. That put it in a box real nice. Yes.
Yeah, just keep fighting, man. It's
Huh?
like the brother said, you gotta stay focused on the big picture, man. You know, stay in tune to what's going on, man. All right. If you're not a brother that's big on different categories, look at the other brothers, man. You know, cause that's what's gonna get you excited when you see these words come to life, man. These prophecies come to life. 'Cause like I always say, we winning, man. When you look out spiritually, we winning, man. These people through, man. You know.
Yep.
Amen. With that, man, we want to give all praise and glory to you.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutation to you. I can't, amen, Lord willing, and with that fine.
Shalom. Shalom.